Mike was muted. Anyway, second time lucky. It's been a while since I made a stream. We're back. Obviously, for obvious reasons, this video should have been last week when the Prem fixtures came out, but I've already said my bit on that, and I will leave it down for the rest of the season. But that had to be said. I've been itching to say it again, to be honest. I'm still not over it, but what can you do? When you're faced against 12, it's no longer fair. But I said it again. We're going to move on. Anyway, we've got plenty to talk about in today's stream. Obviously, I've done it as a stream because I feel I can interact with the chat more, and I also feel like I can cover more without going through all the editing when it's just better to have it as raw footage anyway. So, really happy to be back. So, let's go through the comments real quickly. First things first, Stefan, thank you so much for that donation. That means so much. I can't wait to get started on all the new content for the likes of yourselves who obviously watch from abroad. So thank you so much for that. Apologies if I sound different. I suffer with hay fever very aggressively. So excuse me, but that's going to be a problem, obviously. He's getting his snacks 8 before this time, actually. No takeaway coming. Brad to buy all 3 shots at the Wetherspoons in Huddersfield. It depends which one. People saying stuff about signings. We'll get on to that actually in a sec. First things first, I've not addressed the new signing, and the basics of where I stand on Will Boyle is if Bromby and co trust him, then I can back that. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen with 7 players or so this last season. So if they back it, I back it. That's where I stand as of this moment. We needed a left-sided defender. Obviously, we saw going, so it's kind of a fair replacement, if you will. It makes sense to me, being the left-sided, and obviously an ex-Town player, so it was already on the wall. So the next major thing, obviously, to talk about is our first game of the season, which will be Burnley, and it will be the first game of the entire campaign. Similar to last time when we faced Derby, it was the first game of the campaign. I believe it was the first, or was the last. I'm not 100% sure actually, but we played Derby and Tom Lawrence absolutely ruined us. So, yeah, one of them will say. So, where it is at the minute is in terms of the first few. Bear with me, I've just lost my track of thought. But Will Boyle, sound replacement. I'm happy with that as a left-sided. It's fair enough for a replacement. In terms of Burnley, who we've got first, the first 5 games for me are really tricky games because if you analyse them bit by bit, which I'm going to do, we'll just get them up. I need to share the stream about as well, obviously. There we go. It's all falling into place now. Right. Matches, here we are. So, we've got, first up, we've got Burnley, obviously, followed by Birmingham away, as Harry in the comments has just said. Welcome, Harry. Great to hear from you. Followed by the Carabao Cup fixture at home to Preston. Followed by Stoke City at home, Norwich away on the Tuesday night. Coventry away. That's the first 6. I was going to do a first 5, but I forgot about Carabao, so I had to do it as a 6 because it's first 5 league games, including the Carabao Cup. Right, so Burnley. For me, Burnley are going to do 2 things. Burnley are either going to go straight back up in terms of, not literally, but I mean like straight back up in terms of performance and just bounce back instantly and take the league by storm and be one of the top 6. Or I actually think they're going to struggle and be mid-table. I don't think they're going to be looking at relegation or like that. I don't see that with Burnley. Especially with Vincent Kompany as the manager. He might do it the most gifted yet, but I don't know. I just can't see it. You know, I can't see Burnley making a massive drop down of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to get expert analysis now, and we're actually going to get on Dan from Turfmoor House once I get the link, and we're going to get his take, obviously, as a Burnley fan on being relegated. Even though I'm going to say before he comes on, there was a time where they won a game. I think it was Everton, right? And I swear, I was this close from messaging him and saying, "Told you so," in terms of that they were going to stay up. And then Leeds went and pissed all over everyone's parade. So jammy, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not obsessed. So I think Burnley's going to be a really tough one. Obviously, when Dan, he's seen the link. When Dan, we'll get Dan on ASAP. If there are any other Championship YouTubers, obviously Harry, I've just seen you in the chat. If you're happy to come on and talk a bit about the second game, that's brilliant. Like if you're able to do that, mate, that's actually worked out really well. Obviously up to you, mate. But like I say, it's a tough game. You've still got some top players in there, even with the absence of Pope, who's gone to Newcastle. Look at the comments whilst I wait, because I don't want to go too further into the fixtures without obviously touching on Dan's perspective. Late to his own stream. That's why I say 8 to 8:30, because I'm never on time for all. Free shot for a minute, Brad takes. That sounds like very much my Saturday nights in Camel, actually. Who's the only one who wanted? Yeah, Josh King's summed it up perfectly there. Anybody? I think the tea lady down the road will be a good fit for the wing back. Preston at home. At least I can go to it. That is one thing I do need to say as well. I am currently working, as of at the side of YouTube, so I do have a job now. And as such, obviously, there will be times where that has to come first. And obviously, I'm sure everyone can respect that. I've drawn a little list. No, not a list. I've looked at a little list of the fixtures, all 46 of them. And there are only 3 fixtures that I don't think I'll be able to do. One's 50-50. Norwich away is one of them, which I'm gutted because I've never beat Norwich. I'd like to, but is what it is, you know. Like I say, I'm not going to go to work just to go to that one game when I'm obviously. Yeah, I don't really need to justify it, to be honest, but obviously the point's there. Norwich I can't go to, Bristol City away I can't go to, Luton I can't go to, and Stoke I should be all right with, maybe, and then Sunderland's the same kind of tree as that one, really, in the kind of I should, but obviously it depends on transport and what's on strike or isn't on strike with the stuff these days. So apart from that, that's pretty much me. Great, Harry. Once me and Dan have spoke about Burnley and obviously our absolute blockbuster of a boiling piss fixture that we've been given, then I'll get you on, mate. But yeah, Dan is now here. So welcome. How are we doing, mate?
I'm starting to get a little bit excited about it now. I'm
Yeah.
starting to get excited about it. At first, I was like feeling a bit shit. I was like, sort of, where do we go from here? And yeah, I suppose I'm even more downhearted tonight because obviously it's just been confirmed that Nick Pope's now officially a Newcastle player.
Yeah.
So to lose Tarkowski, Ben Mee, and Nick Pope in one window, it's a bit of a sticky start.
Yeah, it's hard going, but obviously, well, I said I wasn't gonna. I know you were in the stream. I said I wasn't gonna bring it up again, but I'm telling lies. I am gonna. We are the only one who's been faced with absolute travesty decisions. Obviously, we're all aware of the throwing incident at Villa Park.
Yeah.
And how if buts and maybes could have meant you'd have stayed up and we'd have gone up, which would have been two of the absolute most perfect scenarios for
100%.
all the kind of smaller based clubs. You know, by all means, we're not small, but to everyone else, we're like little ducklings, obviously. So it would have boiled a lot of piss, that, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be, was it? What were your initial thoughts? Because obviously, when I spoke to you in January, I mean, we had a laugh, which was probably the most fun you'd had all week, because it's like you say, you're not smiled in about a month. So what changed since then? Because you went on a good run, and then I can say I was this close to messaging you, saying you've done it, and then it all just Leeds just had that last push. So what did you make of it?
I honestly didn't think that we'd go down. I sort of became comfortable being a flirting with relegation team every season. I'd sort of become comfortable with that. For me, I shouldn't have done it, but I did. The last day of the season, I went live with a Leeds fan, and he watched the Leeds Brentford game while I watched Burnley Newcastle. And he's obviously jumping around celebrating with his missus at full time, and I'm just sat there in tears. And I haven't taken it down because I thought, you know what, it just shows raw emotion, passion, shows how much like you love your club. But yeah, it all went. It sort of, for me, the relegation takes away everything. As you said, you were going to message me after the Everton game. You know, we win that Everton game, and then we went into the Norwich game after that thinking, right, well, this is a walk in the park, and we got turned over. So for me, I think it's just been a strange season as it is. You know, Dash goes, and you're thinking, what happens there? And at first, you're disappointed because all you've known is Sean Dash. But then I look back now, and I think of Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. Sometimes a manager can overstay their welcome and it goes stale. So there is almost that aspect to it as well. And you could see that because once he'd gone, we started branding the word freedom around constantly. And we did put a run of results together. And Michael Jackson nearly came up with a thriller and kept us up, but didn't, did he? Damn MJ. But yeah, we came down, and I'm looking forward to it. No VAR. Ball hits the back of the net. We can actually just celebrate and none of this bull crap.
I'm going to say something now. You're probably not gonna like that. That's probably not a good thing for you, because the amount of stuff we've seen this season where I've looked at my mate and gone, like, is this like pinning the tail on the donkey? Like, does he have no clue what he's doing? Like, I know, like, we joke about decisions and that, but we probably should have finished automatics. Like, I like to with YouTube. The problem is what you say is on camera, and obviously you know that, and I know that, and that's the truthful reality of it. And you have to be careful of how far you go with it. But I just saw a lot of dodgy stuff last season. Like, Sorba put his leg up in the box, didn't even touch Mowat. Mowat went down, penalty. We go and draw at Hawthorns. There were so many little decisions here and there. And then when it happened in the final, it just made me think, you know, I don't know. I have to fight with my...
You were robbed. You were officially robbed. And I can say that. I was pissed at the time watching it. I was at a mate's house, couple of beers in there, and even I could see clear as day there was 2 penalty shouts. If not one of them's at least a Stonewaller, no matter what.
Yeah.
Either one of them. So you were robbed of that, and that's why, in a way, I'm sort of looking forward to without VAR, because you can then say, okay, referee got it wrong, human error. But when they're actually getting it wrong, and they've got camera angles that they can see,
Yeah, true. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a different
so
perspective.
it's a strange one. But I'm getting excited for it now. Now that the fixtures are out, hopefully hear about the pre-season friendlies and a new kit eventually, hopefully, and then us lot opening the Sky Bet Championship season.
Yeah, two of the probably at the beginning are going to be two of the most talked about teams. Obviously, we've just been at Wembley. You know, you've just come down after coming from a massive stint up there. So
we've replaced Derby. We're not just Burnley anymore. We're Vincent Kompany's Burnley.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, annoys me.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because there's no scapegoat now of a team that everyone can cuddle up to and love and go, oh my God, it's Leeds United, they're so massive, we're such amazing fans at the famous Ellen Road, or Forest at the famous City Ground. They can't do that anymore because there isn't. I think Forest were the last team, and it's probably a good thing that they're actually gone, to be honest. I'm going to get so much hate from this, but it scarred me mentally, so is what it is. But obviously, we've been the ones chosen to be showcased on Friday night. First things first. I've heard through Twitter that you're in for Scott Twine for about £4 million. Now, last season, unless you've been living under a rock, everyone, he was absolutely, it was unreal. Like, that kid, I've said this about 8 times now on Twitter, we should have been on that from day one. We should have been absolutely all over that like a rash. Someone put a bid in, I can't remember, Hull, that was it, 2 million, and you've doubled it. So it looks like you will probably secure
in the
services.
last 10 to 15 minutes, we've had snippets of like the people's names that have come in and out of the Barnfield Training Centre, and apparently Mr. S. Twan had signed in just this evening. But you know what it's like, people say all this and say all that, but even an MK Dons channel has said that today Scott Twan was there this morning saying his goodbye to players and staff.
There you go.
So whether it's happening, you know, we'll see. As it's that all peripheral, in it. As long as he stood there holding the shirt or scarf in the air, it's just rumour.
Well, we've seen it where like players have gone and then last minute they've changed. So, but obviously you got plenty of time with this deal, so it looks like that one maybe over the line. Speaking of other deals, we've just caught wind that our right back has just left for an undisclosed fee. Literally, this second, Pippa has just gone to Olympiacos in chase of Champions League football. So there you go. That just means we need to replace him now. Obviously, that's a big loss. Pippa was a good player for what he was. I wouldn't say he was one of the best, but he was a good player for what he for what he contributed. So. What do you think? Obviously, I've said I think you'll either sit middle or you'll absolutely smash it out of the park and go for it. Well, where are you standing on that?
I don't think we're going to go up straight away. First time of asking. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it'd be nice, get you back up again." But I don't want to be seen as one of those Norwich or Watfords that are constantly yo-yoing. You know, because by the time, as soon as you go up, you might as well put a big fat R against the name and send them back down again. What's the point? So I don't want us to be one of them. I'd rather us sort of, the thing with the company appointment, it's going to take time. We're going to have a different style of play. We're not going to be known as Brexit Ball. We're not going to be Brexit FC, anti-football, all this like shitty tags that we've had. Players might actually want to come and play for Burnley Football Club, not just because of Vincent Kompany's name, but when they start seeing the fact that he's implementing a new way of thinking. And that's what he's come out and said. He says he wants people to come to Turf Moor and just enjoy the football. He said, sod the result, as long as they can come here and say, you know what, Burnley had a good go at it, and they can go on happy off the basis of that. So it is going to be a learning curve. We are trying a new ethos, sort of buy young, sell high. and hopefully that'll spiral and get us, higher up. But the chairman's come out and said that he wants to bring European football to Turf Moor. Good luck with that. High ambitions, but who knows? We've been there, done it once, so why not? Let's go and push for it again at some point. But I think that's at least looking back end of another 7 to 10 year.
Yeah, I mean, we said the same, and then look at what happened with us. We were the worst defensive team, and now we're the best defensive team. So
yeah.
Just slingshots can happen, dreams can come true, but it's what is it? It's one of them. A lot of teams will look at you as favourites to do business in terms of points. A lot of teams will look to us, to Norwich, to Watford.
Yeah.
A couple of teams in there I fancy, like Swansea. They've had a good little season to to find their feet. You could make cases for the likes of Millwall. I'd probably make a case for West Brom if they didn't have Steve Bruce in charge. They've got great players, but they're not going to do it with it. Loads of little teams in there now. It's one of them seasons where it's going to be so hard to call it and how close.
Championship is so tough.
But even more so now because there's no Fulham or Bournemouth.
No, so you've not got someone absolutely ripping the piss out of the league. You've now got a good bulk of teams that are going to be fighting for it.
If you look at that Watford and Norwich team, the Fulham team that's gone up is probably better than both of them. So you could argue it easily. I mean, but there's not a lot of players in there that have still got it for me in terms of in the Prem, definitely. In the Championship, maybe. Pookie might, turn it up once again and start banging them in, but different manager. It's Dean Smith this time. It's not Fark. Watford, you've got Roy Hodgson. I mean, he's not been in the Championship for ages.
Rob Edwards now, isn't it? Rob Edwards.
It's Rob Edwards, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. So all to play for. So if, as we stand currently, obviously players will come and go. Apart from the ones that you think will go, because Cornet is likely to depart, I think that's a sad reality. Who are you looking at now to be kind of the go-to, the person you're looking at to kind of be the anchor in that team, the best player? Who are you looking at in your team now?
Well, we've come out and said we want to try and keep hold of Nathan Collins because, we've lost two massive main key defenders in Tarkowski and Ben Mee. And I honestly thought that Ben Mee would end his career with Burnley Football Club.
Yeah, I did. That did shock me, that one.
Yeah, I thought he'd have signed a new deal and thought, you know what, why not? I'm in it for the long haul. But it's, it's one of them. Nathan Collins, we signed him from Stoke. Funnily enough, we've got previous of that. But he's come on leaps and bounds. He's only young, got himself as a first-team player in the Irish setup. And
was he the player that scored that solo goal the other week?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Honestly, he is world-class. We didn't think he was going to be anything or going to be much, and he's just going to come in and sort of be like Kevin Long's been, just a bench player and come in when needed. But when he has played, he literally made the position his own, and that's why when Ben Mee were coming back and on the grass, he couldn't really get himself playing because Nathan Collins was in form. So if we can keep hold of Nathan Collins, I'll be very, very happy. And I think Dwight McNeil may potentially stay as well. I just think that he didn't have the best of seasons last season, but it may be one of those where with Company now as manager, they're like, right, I want to play for someone who's a bit forward thinking, likes to get on the front foot, and will play to my strengths in his game.
Definitely. So obviously, a lot of fans as well would have, when I asked that question, would have gone straight to the likes of Cork, the likes of the experienced players. You chose a young one. It speaks volumes, actually. That's kind of the irony, really, because in this league, that's where it's won is with the young players. You look at our team. Sorba Thomas last season, Christ almighty! Oh God, he could.
Are you expecting to lose him before the window's out?
You see, what does me isn't losing players, because I accept that's the harsh reality of missing out on promotion. what hurts me is the process of it happening. It's like, fortunately enough for you, you've ripped the plasters off now. So the plasters are off. What we tend to do is we tend to get the wax strip and slowly pull it off. So you will have been familiar when we had Moy. We left it till deadline day when there were 2 hours left to let him go. So we didn't get a replacement in. We were absolutely, messed about then in terms of having a tough season to try and stay up. So what we need to do now is, if O'Brien's going to go, let him go now. If Sorba's going to go, let him go now. Because in my mind, as soon as that whistle went at Wembley, there were two things I was thinking about. One, obviously, how we've been absolutely robbed out of the game. But the thing I was thinking of straight away was, we may as well waive Lewis by now. We may as well waive Sorba by now, because we've got no chance of holding on to him. The messages I put on Insta have been very controversial, because some people, myself slightly included, reckon they may stay now. But it's going to kill us if they do it in the wrong way. And it winds me up how even players can do this in themselves. Because it's like, you've got the whole... Sora has just signed a new contract as well. I have to add that. But that could just be for the fee, because obviously players do that. But what winds me up now is, we're in June, right? If the players are going to go, they can go at the beginning of July when the window opens. And I wish them all the best, because I have no problem with that. You have to look, you have to look.
We saw that with Harry Maguire, didn't we? He signed a new deal at Leicester and then got sold for 80 million to United.
Literally. Sometimes it can just be an insurance policy for the club. And I think that's a respectful thing to do, personally. But But what does me is when you've got players, right, and they say one thing, even if they said it on Instagram, and they still went, I'm not going to be a child, you have to do what's best for you. But it winds me up both on the club and the player when they leave it to the last week, because as scouts, you should know your targets months in advance of wherever we're at, which our scouts will know, and that we've been told this. But I swear to God, if we leave it till like 10th of August or something, and deadline's on 12th, and we go out and pick some like box to box from non-league or something, honestly, it worked last time we saw, but somehow it worked. But you can't find a Sorba that easily every single time we go to borrow money or likes of it. So if we go and do that, I'll be like you at the end of the season, because it's just having a player like that. I don't know how to explain it. Obviously, you'll understand. Having a player like that is the difference between that and that. Like, as a whole, as a team, like our keeper is a prime example. O'Brien going is hard, but it's replaceable. Sorba going, it's less replaceable because he's got that dead ball thing where he's brilliant with set pieces. If we lose our keeper, I fear for us desperately. That guy, oh my God. That guy was saving. Oh my! That guy made me speechless. I'm like,
Nichols is a quality keeper, absolute world class.
Honestly, he's been absolutely shit hot last season, and I was gutted that he couldn't prove himself in the Prem, because he should be up in talks for the England shout if he's playing like that in the Prem. But
big time.
We'll have to see. But yeah, so you're thinking, not straight back up, but build over a long-term project. Start with the basics, see how it goes, enjoy football, and look at not getting ruined every week. That's kind of your basic take at the minute.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If we do go straight back up, then it just is what it is. It is one of them, and you have just got to accept it. But I'd rather us sort of build a young team, try and get it to gel, and then, maybe even if it's just a second season, get it, and it gels the second season round, then I'll be happy with that. Of course. I don't want instant promotion. I just think that's what everyone's expecting. That's what everyone's going to be expecting of us. I don't want that weight on your shoulders. I want it to be like a clean slate. You're now a championship club. We got to that point after 6 years in the Prem, 6-7 years, that people say, no, they're a stable Premier League club. Well, we're not. Look at Bournemouth. They were stable for a set period. Look at Stoke.
West Ham were at one point as well.
And now, Stoke can't seem to get a foothold in there. madness.
Stoke peaked way too early. They did it last
Yeah.
season. We were the only team in the league that was up there and stayed there.
Yeah,
Ironically, everyone said that we would be the ones to fall, and we were the only one because Blackburn dropped out.
Hey, they won the league at end of August.
Ironic. Blackburn dropped out. Borough dropped out at last minute. QPR dropped out. Coventry dropped out. Plenty of times throughout the season I was saying, Coventry really should be up there. Stuff I'm seeing from them, they really should be up there. And everyone was just too inconsistent. At one point, everyone were winning, and then the other point, it was the opposite. It was like whoever was the least shittest team was going to make the playoffs. And I was watching results because we lost, and then everyone else was like, oh, thank God. And then we won, and everyone else won. I'm like, it were killing us. And eventually we did do it, only to be ruined by a has-been ref. But I won't mention it again now. That's a liar. I will. But
it's all right. The referee got his comeuppance. He got his record shop smashed in. It's great.
Oh God!
More than he deserved. Long time coming.
He's just silly. Like, I don't know how he couldn't. I seriously don't know how he gave those decisions in that way. But another time, another talk. Listen, Dan, it's been great to catch up. By all means, I just kind of assume at this point we'll probably be collaborating straight away for a preview on the Burnley, Huddersfield on both channels, I imagine.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, yeah.
We can have a good laugh there. And if you end up coming to the game, within reason, we'll go and get plastered in spoons, because what else we got to do now? There's no
hey, not wrong with that.
Yeah, it's Friday night, isn't it? So
exactly too right.
Early finish on a Friday and all. I can get a little bit of an head start over here. But
get in.
Yeah, it's been great to get you on, mate. It's been great to talk about, obviously, the beginning of the season. All the best, and I'm sure I'll see you around at some other point.
Yeah, you will, definitely. And good luck to both of us this season. I wanted you to go up last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope that if we are going to go up, we go up together.
Yeah, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? That'd be a good. That would boil a lot of piss. And then everyone would be saying, "Oh, here we go, back to Huddersfield and Burnley," even though it's the likes of Leeds that can't even couldn't defend a knight in shining armour anyway. Well, we'll leave it there. Cheers, man, and I'll catch you in a bit.
Not a problem. Take it easy. Cheers, guys.
Anyway, yeah. Great to get Dan on. Harry, if you're still with us, I'm going to send you a link out just as I go and talk about something for a quick sec. So, obviously, if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll be aware that I do post most of my stuff on there, and as such, me and a friend have taken the decision to take on a new project, a new endeavor. So for a long time I've wanted to do something like this. Obviously it's about having the means, the time, equipment, etc. And now I feel that we're both at a stage where we're both equipped enough mentally and obviously physically with the hardware to do this, and that is to start a podcast. Now, we have got the name, and I will bang it on screen real quick for those who aren't aware. It is quite comical, actually. But we're looking forward to getting started. If everything runs smoothly as it is projected to do so, then on the first episode would be on Monday morning. We're currently just looking at the technical side of it, but that is the name. It will be the Breaking Brad podcast. It's a great name. I didn't come up with it. Matthew did, who I will be running the podcast with. Just a quick little, whilst we're waiting for Harry to get ready on the link, I'm just going to explain what will be on that. So, Breaking Town fans, let's cook. No, I can't encourage that. No, bad Nimrod. It's going to be a great laugh. Obviously, me and Matt, we know each other well from school. So the first topic is going to be about school. There are a couple of different points we're going to touch on, and it should be a good laugh. That's what it's going to start out to be. Obviously, there will be some episodes with serious issues, some with preferences, and we're going to try and get guests on throughout the year. We do mutually know someone who is performing, who's doing a set at Tramline, so we're looking to get them on when we can, and as well as other musicians trying to make their way into the music kind of spotlight. If anyone can suggest some guests that go on to podcasts and tell stories, DM me and we'll try and get in touch with those people as we grow. But I didn't put a link in because I was rushing. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to quickly put a link, do a TikTok. Yeah, that is what we're planning on doing, Sam. We are looking into Spotify as well, and making a TikTok account in order to just maximise the reach of the clips. I probably shouldn't tell everyone this, but I'm going to anyway, because if you come on, then you can get a little bit of inside info. So we're going to talk about stuff to do with school. From an example of that would be from stuff as little as what it was like just lunchtimes and the crazy stuff that happened then, and as well it would be talking about stuff like parents' evenings. So plenty of topics to talk about. We've got a list as well of obviously stuff that happened from time to time on away days, and we will talk about those in due course, and it will be a good laugh whilst doing so. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting started on that. Like I say, me and Matt have wanted to do something like this for a while, so we're really looking forward to just cracking on and using both our skills and putting it towards something as good as this. So yeah, I'm going to have to hang on a sec. Let me go and find what's going on. Oh, it's messing me about now. What are you doing? Right, technical difficulties. It was bound to happen at some point. We'll get there in the end. It's going to take a while, but obviously we're waiting for Harry to come on. If you're still able to, mate. Oh yeah, I sent him. No, he's right. I sent him the link to the YouTube live instead of the StreamYard. Oh, it just gets better, doesn't it? It just gets better and better. It's locked me out of something now, which is annoying me. Can you please let me back into my accounts? Anyway, if you could, when we finally get a chance, if you could subscribe to the channel, there will be content coming soon, like I say, and I would just be really happy if everyone could show some support. Scott Twine is apparently a done deal at Burnley, from what we've just heard from Dan and from multiple sources on Twitter, etc. So that's interesting. Obviously, we'll have to see what that means for for Burnley. He's here now, I think. Yeah, he's here. He's here. We're just gonna quickly bang that link in, like we said, and then we should be good to carry on. What are you doing? It's all over the place. What? I could not be using this. Like, I could be just using this normally and it would be fine. And then the one time I need to do something, he's absolutely all over the place. It's good to take a while. Can you put the link for YouTube? Yeah, that's literally what. That's not. You'd think I would be logged in on this, but I've not touched this computer in weeks. We'll figure it out in a bit. But for now, we're going to get Harry on because he's probably absolutely bored out of his head. And it'd be great to catch up. Harry, how are you doing, mate? Long time.
It is indeed, mate. How are you?
I'm a bit worried, to be honest. These first 6 fixtures are very hard for us. I'm not sure what you've got for your first 5. What remind me? What have you?
We've got Luton, then you, Cardiff, then Watford, then Wigan.
So easy 3 points on the opening day for obvious reasons.
That I don't think so.
You don't think so? You always beat Luton, though. Always beat Luton.
That I'm not confident this season. I'm not confident at all. At all.
At all.
I mean, I don't know if you know stuff that's going on at Blues at the moment.
I've seen things on Twitter roughly. I've seen a bit, to be honest, and it doesn't sound good. It sounds about. It just sounds. What is it? Like.
It's toxic, basically. Yeah. So
yeah.
One of the owners want to sell part of their share. We were in talks with Lawrence Bassini. He's got till the 30th of June to complete a deal. No one of any club, if they had common sense, would want Lawrence Bassini involved with their club. So yeah, but it's looking unlikely it's going to happen anyway. But it's just a roller coaster at the moment anyway. So yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of them, I'm afraid. So we have to see. We've had no transfer rumours whatsoever. Yeah, it's just same old Blues, but even worse than last summer, really, because we were actually signing players. So, yeah, I'm not confident, to be honest. I think the best we could do this season is maybe finish around 16th or something like that. But, you know, players like Troy Deeney, Juninho Bacuna, other players like that really need to step up this season if we're going to even be safe.
Absolutely, and does the fact that you've got Luton and us first 2 games worry you then that you've got obviously playoff kind of obviously playoff place teams so early, followed by an away trip to Cardiff, was that right?
Yeah, away trip to Cardiff after you lot.
Yeah.
Cardiff not so much, although they are signing some players, so that'll be interesting.
They've had a lot of business, yeah.
You guys, it'd be interesting to see if you've been affected from the final. And Luton, of course. I mean, I know anyone can beat anyone on the first day of the season, but even especially on the first game of the season, it tends to be anyone can beat anyone. So
absolutely. I mean, look at the season when Barnsley played Fulham and did the double over them, and then ended up, I swear they got relegated. Or they came no, it was the season I think where they just stayed up by the skin of their teeth. So, yeah. You know what I mean? You're right. Anyone could beat anyone. I'm really considering back in Birmingham on the opening day. I'm not going to lie, because it's Luton, and if you're going to win one game, I've got that feeling deep within that would be that would be it. So squad's not great, ownership's not great. Are you really fearing the worst, or
Depressing is the word to put it at the moment, with being a Blues fan, if I'm being honest. When I said 16th, that's been a bit optimistic, if I'm being honest. I generally
right?
do believe, as well as a lot of Blues fans do believe, that this could be the season that we actually do go down. Like I say, I mean, the key players I mentioned not too long ago, that if they step up, we'll probably be fine, because I still think the likes of, obviously, Rotherham lost their two best players yesterday, which, looking at that, is a bit of a positive, because they'll probably be in the relegation scrap as well. Wigan haven't really strengthened, so I think Rotherham and Wigan could be in trouble. I think Sunderland will have a good season. I don't think they would actually be in the relegation fight at all. So yeah, it's just whether we can get off to a good start or not. But we got off to a very good start last season, and then come 6 or 7 games in, it just went then to pot. So anything could happen in the Championship, mate. I mean, we could, as crazy it sounds, could finish 11th, 10th, something like that, but just can't see it. I really can't.
I wouldn't rule it out because I mean, look at Derby. Up until 2022, they were kind of on track to finish mid-table, and look at everything that happened with them. As much as it pains me to admit it, Bakuna has talent. He has a lot of talent, but he just doesn't apply himself enough. And if he does, I would fear what he's capable of. Because, like I say, I've seen it in glimpses. I've seen him pull it out of nowhere. He's more than capable. There is obviously that option. I don't see why you wouldn't be getting Lyle Taylor back personally, unless the wages was an issue.
Well, I spoke to him personally for about half an hour face to face after the last game of the season. He seemed baffled by it, but he also did say that no offer was made to him. I've seen one report today that apparently Blues have agreed a fee, but of course that's not a full-on reliable source. It's got a fair few followers and stuff, but it's not like Sky or anybody else
nothing concrete. Yeah,
no. Just nothing, mate. Absolutely no. We've not even had players linked. There's been a fair few free transfers gone to clubs this week, and it's just why could we not even try to get one of those in? Even Casey Palmer, he's not probably the top of my list of all those free transfers that have gone this week, but he's gone to Coventry, barely could get in the Bristol City team last season, and we can't even get him in. I mean, that just says it all. Because we were linked with him, to be fair, but I think he chose Coventry over us, actually. So
yeah, it's one of them where you're trying to pick the free agents up and everyone beats you to it, and it's just hurting you long term. Obviously, you will eventually run out of free agents to pick up, the ones that are actually worth it, anyways. So you're more looking at it as a case of we won't stay up by being good. We'll stay up by being not as shit as everyone else. Is that really what is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that we can sign a few players, at this point. I mean, even if the loan players, just to help, because obviously the loan players last season, we didn't have them. We probably would have gone down, if I'm being honest. Of course, Ana Hernandez now back at Norwich. Unfortunately, looks like he's going to be playing there this season. Obviously, with them coming back down. Lyle Taylor, he's still an interesting one for me, like I said to you not too long ago. I think anything could happen with him. I mean, we don't even know if Lee Bowyer is going to be in charge at the start of the season. That's how bad it is at the moment.
There's a massive miscommunication between the ownership and the fans, is what.
Yeah, it's just complete mess. Has been for years, and it's just it's not going up, just going down, 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 even further and further and further. It's just, it's not great. I mean, to be honest, survival would be a success this season. And I think every Blues fan would be honest and admit that is probably reality at this point, is just stay up because of how bad things are. And our squad is quite thin as it is at the moment. I mean, if that squad stays up we've got at the moment, I think that would be an achievement, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. If that's how obviously you kind of approach it. Obviously, everyone's in different situations financially with the communication. So who are you looking at as a saviour then in terms of players? Who are you looking at to kind of be the one to do the business if the business for you is obviously staying up?
I think Troy Deeney. I think it's his season to prove he's still got it. I mean, he shredded loads of weight in the summer. He's got into shape, and I've got to admit, fair play to him, because I think he knows he's had to, because of how I think he knows in his head he's got to actually carry the team this season. Him, Bakuna, Jordan Graham's another player. I generally think that them three all know they've got to try and carry the team at this current moment in time, especially with no signings.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So, how many points do you think you'll get out your first three then?
At best, I'd say 3. Some reason I can't see any more than 3.
Sure.
I think 4 would be good. I think if we could get a point at Luton and beat Cardiff, I think that would be decent. I think if your lot are still confident, I think you'll come to St Andrews like you did, and when you done a really good job there last season. I think could be a similar story on that, but we'll see. But I'll say 2. I'll say a draw at Luton, a draw at Cardiff, and you'll beat us.
Interesting. Well, we'll just see how that pans out. Harry, it's been great to get you on. It's been great to hear from you. Let's hope for your sake that it's not as doom and gloom as what you as what you may think. Great to get you on, mate.
And you, mate. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Thanks. All the best.
See you later.
Yeah. Great to get Harry's take. Not really as positive thinking as Dan. Quickly, I'm going to swipe off so it'll black screen, but I'm not really going anywhere. I'm not planning to anyway. There we go. And we're back. So, interesting from both them two. So, looking at the fixtures, we've got Burnley, followed by Birmingham City, Preston North End in the Cup, Stoke, Norwich, Coventry. Burnley we can win, but I don't think we will. I think that game's going to be a draw. For me, I think it's important that we just go into it without losing. That's just for me personally. I think the first 4 games are games we shouldn't lose. And we should aim to get at least 5 points from those first 4 games. So if that means a win, 2 draws and a loss, so be it. Or it can be a win and 3 draw. Or it can be what? Wait, no. 5 points out the first 4. Where, hang on, let me work it out. I know I've just messed up my head there somewhere. 5 points in the first 4. That would mean we'd have to win 1, of course, yeah. Or even if we just drew all 4, it'd be annoying, but we really should be winning. But as long as I would really want to get that unbeaten run going again, because we started to be a force. Teams didn't want to play us. So if we could, so if we could beat Burnley and then we beat Birmingham, somehow beat Stoke, and then we just sat back a little bit, defending on the road at Norwich and Cov, then we've kind of set ourselves up well for a good start. And if you get a good start, then we've cracked it really. From what I see, I really feel like we'd have a good go at it, to be honest. Just a quick one. Bear with me a second. So, the podcast link is now what are you doing? The podcast link is now in the bio. I'm putting it in now. So if you do want to subscribe to that channel and share it about, please do so. And share the Instagram account about a bit as well. That would be really greatly appreciated. 5 points in the first 4. That's ideal. One of them's a Carabao Cup game, and I've just said get 5 points in the first 4. Oh my God, forget about me. Like, I'm just gonna retire. Wait, have I said? Wait, what? Yeah, I included Preston. That, forget that. 5 points in the first 4. That's acceptable in the first 4 league games for me. A win, 2 draws, and a loss. So be it. But I'd prefer if we didn't lose. But we'll have to see what signings we make, because obviously we're going to be dependent on those, because I don't see us keeping all the players. So we'll just have to see, because like I say, I'm not holding out that we're just gonna see out this window without being like as if noticed. If that makes sense. So yeah, the link to the podcast is now in the description of this video. So if you want to quickly refresh, I do believe we need another left centre back. Clive summed it up perfectly there. Attacking mid, yeah. A creative midfielder, yeah. And I'd say a winger and a striker as well. We're not going to get all of them, so we need to prioritise a right back, obviously, as well now. But I'm really positive for this season. I just hope we can get form going early and not kind of. We do need we've got Billy Kapic as backup for now. Hopefully, he can make an entrance into the bench. But interesting to see how we approach these first few games. Don't want Izzy Brown back. Don't want Izzy Brown back at all. Too injury prone. Great when he played for us, but too injury prone, unfortunately. Adam Armstrong, I would be very excited to see him at Town, but I don't see it personally. So we'll just have to see. But I'm really looking forward to the season starting off. Really looking forward to the podcast started. Things are on the up. We should have had Woodrow. You're right, Caden. You are right. But we'll just have to see. 4 points from the first 5. No, 5 points from the first 4. Yeah, that was it. A win, 2 draws, and a loss if it means it has to be. Although if we drew every game, I wouldn't be like mad with that, because that's still 4 points. Just try to limit the losses. I'm not really happy with the fixtures, I'm going to be honest, because it means I can't go to Norwich. There will obviously be a watch along for that instead. I can't go to Bristol. I can't go to Luton. I cannot go. Oh, wait, that'll be bank holiday, so I might be able to do that. I can't go to Stoke's 50-50, actually. As is Sunderland. And then obviously we'll sort the playoffs out when we get there. I'm never doing that ever again. You going to Coventry? Yeah, I should be. I put a list down earlier. There's only 3 I definitely can't do. And about now looking into it, about 3 that I might be able to get away with. So we'll just see about that. But we've been going for an hour now. I'm not really happy with the fixtures, but I can't change them. I'd prefer different orders. We need to make some signings before I kind of do any predictions as such. So once we get some signings done, I'll get on some content with that. But for now, we're going to wrap it up here. And obviously, you've got the podcast hopefully coming Monday. If you do want to follow us on Instagram, it's Breaking Brad Podcast. That's been on for the whole time, and I really didn't mean it to be. So follow us on there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Do training kits, all right. That's kind of where I stand with that, to be honest. Not nothing really spectacular, but nothing really horrible. It's nice. It's nice. You know, I'd wear it. I'd buy it. But we'll see about the kits soon enough. Take care, everyone, and I shall see you in another stream soon enough. And also, massive thanks to Stefan for the donation. That was really kind. Take care, everyone, and I will be active soon again. Watch your space. I can't say that seriously. Stay tuned. Cheers, guys.